You're listening to Gamedaytarps podcast, coast to coast, with your hosts, Ryley, Dakota, Dallas, Daeden, and Wilbs.
Welcome everyone back to the Gamedaytarps podcast. I'm Dallas, here with Ryley, Daeden, and Wilbs. We got a full docket on the schedule tonight as there is so much shit to go down with the NHL and the CHL season in full swing. But before we get into the show, I just want to remind everyone to please support us on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe, like, and share this video and all of our videos to social media, to your friends. It only helps us grow this page even larger. Make sure that you follow Gamedaytarps on all our socials on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and of course, Twitter. Follow Daeden at Blue Nose Hockey and Wilbs at Wilbs Film and Wilbs Puck on all socials. Without further ado, let's get right into this jam-packed video, boys.
Let's do it. First off, how are we doing, fellas? It's been a couple weeks since we all got together here. How's everyone doing out east?
Well, I'm not really east, but I'm in the center of the world, actually.
You're in Toronto. That's east.
Exactly, center of the world.
That's basically center of the world for a lot of people out east.
Yeah.
No, for everyone here.
Why are they the Eastern time zone then, bud? They're not the Central time zone.
No, it's just a joke. This guy has no sense of humor. Anyways,
yeah,
how you doing, Wilbs?
I'm doing pretty good. I mean, my team's on a heater right now, so I mean, I'm pretty good, honestly.
Nice. Wilbsy, so last episode we threw in your video of your trip there to Owen Sound. Now you've actually been making your way to a couple London Knights games, so that's good to be making some content. And we made sure we had to throw that in episode 42. So, like we said, hockey season is in full swing. I know me and Ryley are just going to try to get to some games this year. Day, he's got a lot of going on at school, making some projects and doing a lot of filming for university games. But you yourself feel like you got your hands full with quite a few OHL games coming up, so that should be exciting as well.
It's gonna be very exciting. All the content that's gonna come out is gonna be very exciting. I'm hoping to have the CHL versus US game off so I can get some content there, because that's gonna be one of the biggest OHL events this season. And also hoping that I'll have the day off where, I'm going to be going to the OHL prospect game that's going to be happening in Brantford on January 15th, naming it after Connor McDavid. So there's a lot of big things happening in Neo. So I'm excited for those two things. I'm definitely going to Windsor for a Windsor game December 14th, and then Niagara for my birthday weekend. So that's going to be a jam-packed day too. So just stay tuned for the content that's going to come out like on my socials, but also Gamedaytarps as well, because there's going to be a ton to talk about.
Absolutely. How sick must you be if you're McDavid to come out of the same league as Gretzky and still be playing in the NHL with all the great OHL players that have come through there, and they still name a tournament after you?
That's sick.
Nuts.
Yeah, but I mean, Wayne Gretzky's got a team named after him, so I'm pretty sure he's doing pretty good.
He's got the Hlinka Gretzky Cup too, but I mean, just like for us,
a tournament name, yeah. So he basically does have a tournament named after him.
Yeah, but he didn't have one when he was playing. Like McDavid is like 10 years into his career; he's still got 10 to go, and he's already got stuff named after him, tournaments. Is he retired in Erie?
His numbers get retired in Erie, yes.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, maybe it's named after Brent Gretzky. You never know, right?
The best brother duo in NHL history.
Anyways, boys, speaking of, holy fuck. The NHL start to the season has just been absolutely bonkers, all right? I think we got to get it out of the way here and just go over, what the hell is going on with some of these teams? The West, the East, I know a few of our teams here ain't doing so hot, but I think we should just dive right into it. First, I want to take it to you, Day. The Habs and the talks of Marty St. Louis on the hot seat. What are your takes on that?
Well, I don't think he should be on the hot seat. Montreal's nowhere near ready to compete or contend. They just got whooped by Colorado, Calgary 5 minutes ago. Not whooped. They lost in overtime, but like this team's not ready to compete. This team's losing games left, right, and center. But it's not St. Louis' fault. He's good at developing young players. I just think they still need a couple more pieces. Yeah, and I mean the goaltending. People have stuff to say about the goaltending, but I mean they're also both young, so I think
Yeah,
yeah,
Christ. I mean, like, you guys aren't going to be going out there expecting to make it to, the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, you guys are still a young team trying to find chemistry. Like, I personally believe as well, like, he should not be on the hot seat. Like, he's great for developing young talent, and I think he still needs at least a couple more years out before, the general manager of the Habs to start considering another coaching change because they're still going through growing pains in Montreal. Like, give it time. Like, you guys aren't expected to win it all right now, right? So, yeah, I totally
And
agree with that as well.
especially when they brought Marty on too, because the idea was that he was a guy who never coached in the NHL. So not only were they a young team giving guys leashes, they also were giving St. Louis like a chance to be a coach. It's a double tryout basically. Like both the team isn't ready and the coach isn't ready, and they knew that going into it. So I can't see how he's even close to being on the hot seat.
Way
But
too early. Way too
yeah,
early to say. Like it takes like even when you get to be a new coach with like a rebuilding team, because that's where the Habs are at right now. It's gonna take a couple years before they get into that position to be a playoff team again. It just takes time. I think it's way too early to talk about saying like, oh, Martin St. Louis should get fired, blah blah blah, this and that. It's still early. He hasn't even coached like 5 plus years yet. Like he's only been there like not even that long. So like
3 I think.
give it time. Yeah, give it time. See what happens. I just think it's too early to be saying shit like that.
True. Let's keep talking about some coaches here or hot seats because bad teams. I mean Nashville. Who's Nashville's coach right now? Hines, John Hines.
I thought it was
Is it?
left, but maybe that's a thing of the
Oh
past.
no, yeah, it might be Lav. It might be Lav. But I mean, Pred's coach has to be on the hot seat. That's the best team the
Yeah,
Predators have had in years, and they can't figure it out. Dan
Mike
Bilesma in
Sullivan.
Seattle. Yeah, Mike Sullivan, Dan Bilesma in Seattle, 5-7-1 in Seattle, sixth in the Pacific, not killing it. We're definitely excluding Colorado because they've barely had a NHL roster play this season yet, so it's definitely not
Six
on Bednar.
six of their top nine players are either out and injured. Like, that's how abysmal of a start that the Colorado Avalanche have had. And I mean, Jared Bednard's going in his ninth season as an NHL coach with the Avs, so I don't think that they're ready to part ways with him quite yet. They're in a
No,
bit of a struggle right now, and that's not on him at all. They are just poorly mismatched out there for a juggernaut in the West. And dude, when you got a guy like Oliver Shillington as a defenseman, a seventh D man at that, coming up to play on your fourth line left wing, like, shit is going sideways in the Mile High City. So it's painful to watch, man. Holy fuck.
yeah. But what about Halifax boy Matt Steinberg making his first appearance for the Colorado Avalanche? What did you think of him?
I
What
thought
did
that
you think
was
of that big
awesome, dude.
hit he
He
threw?
dude, and he stands up for his teammates too. Like, when he got into that scrap, I'm like, go get him, Matty. God damn. Like, you know what? Suspension or not, like, dude, this
is
guy
that the
hits, man.
is that Stenberg or Steinberg?
Steinberg.
Is he the one who hit Chernak in the head?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
I mean, your Tampa Bay Lightning
Well,
won that game, so whatever.
that one shift, Wagner hit McDonough from behind, and then Steinberg hit Chernak in the head. Like our second pair of D went down in 2 seconds. It's like, geez.
I thought Steinberg showed out for his debut too. Like, he was playing pretty tough and gritty for those first few games, and he was really earning his spot on that fourth line. So yeah, props to him. He had a really good debut with the Avs.
Oh, geez. Who do you guys think? Do you guys have any like? Well, okay, Patrick Wall is also on the hot seat. He's got to be. The Islanders suck, but let's go to GMs because I don't know if it's all on Patrick Waugh. I mean, Lou Lamoriello's he's got to go, right? Like they're 4-6-2. They can't score goals. They play terrible defense. They're capped out to the max. Like, Lou Lamoriello's got to go if you're the Islanders owner, right?
I feel like that's a yeah.
What
I feel like that was a
faith?
yeah 4 or 5 years ago. You know what I mean?
It was a yeah when he was in Toronto.
Mm,
Like, why was he even brought in?
no idea. That's just a bad idea all around. I just don't like the way the Islanders are built. Don't like the way the Islanders play.
Yep.
I don't imagine many people do.
Nope. And let's talk about the Detroit Red Wings and Steve Yzerman. Arguably my favorite general manager, being a Tampa Bay Lightning fan. His team sucks. They don't look any better. He's not solidifying any position. That trade for Wallman, trading him to San Jose, Wallman is on the worst team in the NHL, and he is a better defender than the entire D-core of the Detroit Red Wings on the worst team in the NHL. Like, how they had to tag a second-round pick to get rid of his contract, and yet he's better than their entire D-core.
And he was a fan favorite in Detroit too, and you just let him walk.
I thought it was a dumb move to let that guy walk. Honestly, like he had a solid year last year. So when I saw that he was walking, I was just like, man, what are you doing there? I just didn't understand it.
Yeah, now they have 2 former Montreal Canadiens pylons, Ben Sherratt and Jeff Petrie, just chilling on the back end.
Yep.
Not to mention aged, seasoned veteran goalies that they could have done without too, like Jack Campbell. Coming in, they're still working on Ville Husso to see if he could remain a starter in Detroit. Like, what are these guys going to give Sebastian Cossa his earned start?
Yeah.
Like, I love and respect.
Goalie? Sorry, the other Oilers goalie they Campbell and Talbot. They have both Campbell and Talbot. Like, that's supposed to work like it did for the Oilers. But continue on Cossa, because I agree with you.
Well, I was just going to say that I madly respect Alex Lyon. He's doing a hell of a job in Detroit. But when are they going to give Sebastian Cossa, former Western Hockey League champ, who killed it for the Oil Kings, might I add, back in 2022? Like, this kid deserves a start finally, and not just waste away his talents in Grand Rapids for another full season. Like, just at least give him a shot, a 3-game trial, at least. Like, you owe him that much. It's been what, three years now? Not a single shot in the NHL yet.
Yeah, on a team that, like, what are they holding back? Like, who? It's not like they've had Vasilevsky, Hellebuck, Sorokin, Shesterkin. They're playing Jack Campbell. They're playing Ville Husso. They're playing Cam Talbot. What are you doing? Your team is at the bottom of the barrel. Why are you not giving this kid an opening? Like, just even a little bit. Just a game. See if he can even handle it. They're not even giving him one chance.
I feel like they think the Atlantic Division is just too stacked this year, because after you get past the bolts and the cats and the bolts at the top, it's just like a pile of mush, and every team's pretty much within 4 or 5 points of each other.
Well, even then, so I'm looking at it right now. Montreal and Buffalo are at the bottom with 9. Tampa and Toronto are tied for second with 14. It's 5 points from 8 to second.
Yeah, and that's why I think they might think they still have a chance at the playoffs. So that's maybe why they're trying to keep their veteran goalies in there. I don't know why.
Yeah, and Tampa just lost again.
Stupid.
Yeah,
see, this is what I don't.
Lost too. And Toronto won.
This is what I don't understand is that when you got like historic teams such as like the Habs or the Red Wings, and they're just trying to play out there every night, just to get butts in the seats. Like, no, you guys should be out there like high caliber scoring. Play with grit and just try to win every night. Like, don't just say, yeah, let's get the fans in the stands and call it our night. No, like, you got to get there with some hustle and compete, man. Like, you guys should be out there trying to win. How long has the Detroit Red Wings been in rebuild mode or retool mode? Like, it's time to get back to the old roots of Hockey Town and be a winning caliber team again. Like, this is just utter fucking bullshit. Giving out 8 years, 8 bananas worth of contracts to these guys and are underperforming. Like, I think we had a conversation the other day, Ryan. Like, there's guys that can prove themselves and guys who can't prove themselves. And like, you give out these big contracts and you know what? Then they start getting cold feet once they get signed that contract. Like, speak of Elias Pettersson, for example. What is it? 2 goals in the last 31 regular season games now for him. Like, signs that $11 million contract. He says, "Yeah, I'll call it a day. I don't got to do
Yeah.
squat now. Like, I'm
No, I
basically
agree.
set." But it's going back to the point, like, guys can prove themselves for the dollar value, but it's guys who can't, and it's like it's kind of getting, you know, this old fucking merry-go-round. Like,
Yeah.
people hate seeing it, and it's like, dude, get your ass in gear, right? Like, in general managers, they got to start thinking better now. Of like, okay, can I sign this guy to a good deal, and is he going to perform for me? I think there should just be more not rushing into signing these guys to long term deals and then just fucking, regretting it later down the road, like not even a year after. And then I'm starting to
Yeah.
hear shit like, oh, rumors of, trading a contract like Elias Pettersson because he get traded in like 2 years, or could a contract like Mika Zibanejad get traded? Like, they just got to stop with this nonsense.
Yeah. And you know what though? Like a couple of years
Overvalue,
ago,
man.
right? Let's talk about Laugh and Kako and Heedle, all with the Rangers, right? They just were like, no, we're not paying you big. You have to take deals and prove it to us. And now that their deals are up, Kako's deal went down. Lafreniere's deal went way up, right? Like I think Kako went down to like 2 years, 1.45 or something. And now Laugh just signed that 7 by 7.7 mil. So like they made them earn it, and then they paid them accordingly when one did not earn it and one did.
That
Now
is a
Laugh,
smart general manager.
yeah, and Laugh is second on their team in scoring, second in goals behind Panarin. Like, I don't know. That works. I don't know what Mo Seider, like, I get it. Mo Seider is unreal, and he had a good couple years, but what did he do to deserve $8 million? And let's not even talk about Lucas Raymond. That kid hasn't even deserved 4, right? And then let's talk about Dylan Gunther, who hasn't even played 50 NHL games, getting 7 or 8 mil. Like, how does that kid get that, right? Like, what are these general managers doing? Just hucking the payload out there. I just don't see how you can build a winning brand and pay, like, you have to pay guys under 26 years old under 5 million to win, because you have your 28 to 30 year olds who are all making 8, 9, 10, right? If you start paying 23-year-olds 8 mil, it's over. You're never going to be able to build around them because you're not going to be able to have veterans. And then when you don't have veterans, the young kids can't carry the team because they don't know what to do in the playoffs. And you end up the Detroit Red Wings, just revolving around Dylan Larkin, giving him the captaincy at like 21 or 22, whatever he got it. And now we're like 4 or 5 years later, and Dylan Larkin's 28, and they're still just revolving because they haven't found anyone to lead that team as a veteran because they can't pay anyone.
Well, Wilbs, I'll take this one to you because I know one of your boys there is headlining this summer's biggest free agents frenzy, Mitch Marner. Now, do you think he's going to walk, or do you think the Leafs are going to try to do everything in their power to try to lock him down?
I think it really just all depends on like how he shows out because the Leafs have like kind of the similar records that they have been getting and similar losses from what I have seen basically. And I really think it all depends on if Mitch Marner like this is his prove year. If he proves to be that good player, they're gonna want him back. But if the same bullshit happens, like let's say first round exit or not even make the playoffs in that matter, because we know how Toronto is, and Toronto has been the same old bullshit year after year. Something needs to change if the same bullshit happens. As much as the Leafs fans definitely love the core four, something has to happen if they lose again. It can't as much as Marner's a great player. Like I remember watching London days, he was unreal, and like where I haven't really seen that Marner since then. He's had good seasons, but there's some seasons where he's been a little bit off. But the question is, like, what do the Leafs need to do if, let's say, they lose in the first round again? They would have to make changes. They would honestly have to make changes, and Marner's going to be that one guy that's the odd man out, I think. But we're gonna see what happens on what they decide to do. Even like Matthews, he's had a slow start.
Yeah.
Nylander's been. I think Nylander's great. I think Nylander's been one of the best of the core four. So I wouldn't really necessarily move him. Tavares, Tavares is like out of his prime days now. Like he's old now. Like he's a vet.
See ya.
So he might be the one man out too. But the question is like what's going to happen? But like I feel like if Marner does not prove himself this year, then he's probably going to be the odd man out.
Can I even throw this out there? What is the point total that it should take for Marner to make more than $8 million? Because with him making what he's been making on this current deal, I mean, for me, if he doesn't score 110 points, I'm not paying him more than 8 mil. Because sure, he's just getting points based off Matthews and stuff, but his defensive numbers have gone down. His actual usage has gone down, right? Like it's only
Power
so
play
often.
too.
If you're paying Austin Matthews 14 and Marner is just on the ice with him and you could get another guy to pass to him for 5 mil, why would you pay Marner 10 plus again when he is so not worth that? Like Tavares is going, they're losing that $10 million contract. Tavares is gone off the team, or he's signing for a very cheap deal to stay at home. One of those two things is happening. But to me, you cannot sign Mitch Marner over 8. If you have Matthews, Marner, and Nylander at $36, $37 million of your cap hit next year, you're not going to win. Personally, either if the season's not going too great, trade him for a multitude of assets, defensemen, get a goaltender for goodness sakes. There's a team out there that'll trade a goaltender, an actual consistent goaltender. Like St. Louis's season is unraveling. I hate Binnington. Everyone knows I hate Binnington. But if Toronto could trade Marner to St. Louis and they could get like Binnington and like a Justin Falk on defense for like a third pair, like just kind of get back some assets that can play today, I think that would be way more beneficial than having Marner pass, because Nylander can pass to Matthews. You have Matthew Nyes, who's playing really well. Tavares can pass to Matthews. Right? Like Matthews is going to put the puck in the net regardless of who passes it to him. Marner just does it slightly better than some other guys, which is hard to find, but not irreplaceable, because what's the point when they don't win anything?
Well, let me read the list off to you boys, okay? Because we got some big names coming up for this free agency season. We got guys like Mikko Rantanen, Brock Besser, Travis Konechny, Igor Shesterkin, Mitch Marner, Brock Nelson. Like, there's so many guys on the free agent market this upcoming season. And who do you think is going to get the biggest contract, biggest bang for their buck? Like, do you think Colorado could lock down Mikko Rantanen, or is he going to walk a Mitch Marner, a John Tavares, a Travis Konechny, right? So this season is literally a show out for a lot of these guys.
Well, are you saying biggest bang for your buck, as in like the team gets the best deal for the player, or are you saying like the player that gets the biggest contract?
The player that gets the biggest contract.
Well, then I think it has to be Shesterkin or Rantanen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those two for sure.
Here's the most easy math situation for Toronto. Say Shesterkin somehow becomes a free agent. Somehow. Goodbye Tavares, goodbye Marner. That's 20 million cap space. Just ask Shesterkin what he wants. Yeah, is it going to be an overpay after 3 years? Absolutely. It's going to suck. But if he wins you a cup, your fan base will go crazy. Like, Tree Living will
we've seen
forever.
And we've seen Toronto when Toronto won the NBA championship in 2019, how bananas that went. Just imagine freaking Toronto Maple Leafs. Like, literally, no one would sleep, and the streets would be absurd. Like, I wouldn't even want to think about, like, how hyped that would be.
Yeah, so, I mean, but yeah, Rantanen, if Rantanen makes it to free agency, which I don't think he will, I think Colorado really values him because they should. But Rantanen would pull in north of 11. I would say Rantanen's going to get 12 if he hits the open market. I think if Shesterkin hits open market, he gets like 14. If he's demanding 12 and he hits free agency and it's a bidding war, I think he gets 14.
And he deserves it. And this was the whole debate, right? Like, Swayman didn't really prove himself as a starter because he was sharing the load with Ullmark. But Shesterkin in the last few seasons has been literally a standalone starter, and he does deserve that money. Like, he was, $88 million he wanted for a contract? So if I was the
He turned down
Rangers got him.
88. He turned down 88. 8 by 11 he said no to. He wants
Then he
96.
knows he's worth more. Which would probably make him the highest paid goaltender in NHL history.
It would be, yeah. Price is the highest at 10.5. Highest ever.
So,
Bobrovsky's at 10. And then I think Vasilevsky at 9.5 is next.
Just fucking bonkers, man.
Well, let's jump into the stats side of things about guys that are actually earning their keep. I want to talk about how Kaprizov is willing the Wild this year. 21 points, lead the league. He's now tied today with Reinhart and Cale Makar, leading the NHL in points, gentlemen. He did it for like a week. That was cool. After week 2, week 3, now we're like a month and a bit into the season, and he's still leading the NHL. Could we see Cale Makar? Because how many games has he played this year? He's played 12 games. He has 21 points. Is he going to like put up 130 points as a D-man?
He might.
What
What I'm scared of is people are just going to say the same thing about McKinnon last year. Say, oh, like, or McDavid last year. Like, how many of those were assists instead of goals?
I don't think it's a defense. Here's the thing.
It doesn't matter as much as a defenseman, obviously. No, but like,
people can't double standard saying that Carlson deserved the Norris when he had 100 points, but was minus 40, minus 20, whatever he was. But Makar is going to get 100 plus points, and right now he's a plus. Where is he? Sorry, I got to find it. Plus minus. Okay, well, right now, unfortunately, he's a minus 8 on the season. But that's going to change once they actually get healthy bodies, because he's playing almost 25 minutes a night with half their offense in front of him, not having their captain, not having Nichushkin, right? Like, so those pluses will go up.
Is he still playing with Taves?
I believe so, yeah.
Now he is, yeah. At first it was Samuel Girard, but since Taves came back from the IR, he has been paired up with Devon Taves again. And that was his dance partner beforehand, too. Like, even last year and the year before, like, that was the 1-2 punch on the first D pairing. So, yeah, once he's got Devon Taves back on there, like, he is just he's gunning to the races now. Like, he's going to have another Norris winning trophy season, I think.
For sure. McKinnon's right there, too. He's just 1 point behind Makar, and Mark Stone as well. Rounds out the top 5. Goal scorers. I mean, let's talk about the really cool statistic that they had for Johnny Gaudreau, that the tied for the lead yesterday in goals was all number 13s. Nico Hischier with 10, Cole Caulfield with 10, and Sam Reinhart with 10. Like, what a cool, just random statistic that you could not plan no matter how hard you tried. The year that Johnny Gaudreau passed away, 3 guys, number 13, all get to 10 goals first in the league and are tied to lead the league. Like, just crazy.
Do you think it would have happened if? Do you think this season for Cole Caulfield would have happened if he didn't switch his number?
You never know, right? Like, it's a different motivation.
Yeah, it definitely is a different type of motivation, especially for him, considering Johnny Gaudreau was Cole's idol. So of course he's going to motivate that season for him, and he's just been going on a tear. Like, it's actually awesome to see, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And now Kucherov's tied at 10 as well as of tonight, because he got one, or last night I guess, because he got one.
Yeah, I just had to put that in there.
Oh well, he's there.
86.
Yawn.
86.
Yawn.
Hey, I wasn't wrong about Tampa though, man. Outside their top line, they are just goal central against. So we'll see. No Braden Point tonight. That hurt. They lost to St. Louis. Who loses to St. Louis, boys?
No, Tampa Bay.
The Tampa Bay Lightning.
Tampa Bay.
Leader in assists, Makar 16, Stone, Kaprizov, McKinnon, and Morrissey rounded out. I mean, the Avs power play is at least clicking for you, Dally. Like 10 points for McKinnon, 10 points for Makar on the power play. Like, that's an awesome consistency for them. And then let's talk about the guy that's probably already going to win the Vezina like halfway through the season, second back-to-back, Connor Hellebuck. Like
He's been insane so far.
he's been a different animal. Absolutely. No
Jets
doubt
start
about it.
11-1, man. I'm glad I picked Hellebuck again for the second year in a row in fantasy, dude. I just knew.
Just
I
picked him
just
right up.
fucking knew he was gonna go off.
Jets team is special right now, that's for sure.
They got
Oh,
a
yeah.
real decent chance of going far this year.
And I remember saying,
a lot of
sorry, go ahead, Wilbs.
a lot of breakout guys too. Like I'm glad to see Perfetti getting solid minutes. He was unreal. Neo got to watch his game grow, and glad to see him going up there. So lots of good guys on that team, and hopefully to continue that heater up because that would be cool to see them go far.
I love Adam Lowry too, man. Maybe the best captain in the league because he is 0% star, 100% just muck and grind leadership. Blocking shots, fighting guys, hitting everybody. He gets like 5 goals a year, 15 points, and he gets like 225 penalty minutes, 150 block shots. Like, just an ultimate leader out there. And this Winnipeg team that's always had like kind of skilled guys as leaders in terms of like Wheeler and stuff, they just give it to the guy who's just going to dive in front of every puck and help Hellebuck as much as he can, and it's just worked. He's such a great leader. None of the other guys can, take a shift off because they're like, well, Cap's out there put his face in front of that one, so I guess we got to go out there.
Dude, literally give me half of some of these guys' contracts, maybe even a quarter. Half of a quarter. I don't give a fuck. Half of a quarter of these guys' contracts. I'll go out there
An
and block as
eighth.
many shots as you want, coach. I will literally go put my life on the line in front of that goddamn puck. Like, some of these guys I watch, they don't even like try to block the puck with
Have
padding,
the crutches. Have the crutches
right?
ready. Dally's going to be coming off with a broken leg. But he
I'm
did it
just
for you,
saying,
coach.
like, guys are getting paid millions of bucks out there and they're scared to block a shot. Oh, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
Give me $1,000. I'll take a good one off the goddamn shin.
You got to get in front of. I mean, I've block shots. Obviously, we've all blocked shots at times in our life, but just a 100-mile-per-hour bomb just hits different, man. It changes the way you think about blocking shots. You take one and you get out without a broken leg, you still don't walk for 3 days after the game. Like, it's
I say
crazy.
we all fly out to BC and we line Dally up on the blue line and we just fire shots
Just
at him.
pepper them. No
100
pads.
bucks entry. Hey, 100 bucks entry, buddy. I ain't getting unpaid for this. I told you.
Okay, no, 100
Coach,
buck.
throw me in. I'm getting paid.
No,
Yeah, we'll
no,
hold on to the money for you. Don't
no.
worry.
Here you go. $100 pot each, right? If you jump out of the way of even one, the boys keep the pot. If you take them all, you keep the pot.
Let's run it. Run it up.
Oh man,
I just
did I?
know that the one that just screams the most is the one off the ankle. That one just sucks ass. But I'll take a good one off the side of the knee, fucking the calf, whatever, coach.
Hold up, our phones ringing. Hey, Logan Stankoven. Yeah, we have another idea for the pod for you.
Oh yeah.
Just takes a fucking clap ball from Logan Stank over to the knee.
Connor Smith, the 6'6" giant.
Just call
Why
it
don't we
all.
get that guy to come
Boys,
wire some shots at you?
$500 bonus. Just crank one at this guy.
What about the nail gun, Ryder Bolton on the Knights?
Get him.
I mean, I think
Sure.
he could take anything.
Bring them
Well,
all.
if we got both of them, we just get him to fight him.
Considering why not Connor Smith, who's like double the size of the kid.
Yeah, great fight.
Like, yes.
Dude, let's just get all three of the guys that have come on the pod so far. Brady, Logan, and Connor. Just line them all up, and I'm just standing in front of the net. No goalie padding. Zero protection. On three, boys, just start unloading on this fucking kid.
Good luck. You'd end up dead. You wouldn't even be breathing.
Buddy, I'd be hitting the ground so fast, I'd be off to Royal Inland Hospital real fucking quick, all right?
Doesn't even get hit by a puck, goes to the hospital anyways. All right, let's get back on here. Let's do Ovi. 49 goal pace. Only needed 42 to break the record. Is he going to do it, gents?
I think he's gonna do it. He's on
yeah.
a heater. He's on a heater. He's got it.
Daeden. What are you talking about?
Next year, he's gonna hit a dip, bro. It's Ovi.
Everybody
doing
hits
good.
a
Yeah,
dip.
he's on pace. Everybody hits a dip, exactly. So Ovi's gonna hit a dip at the end of the season. I don't think he's gonna get the 42 goals that he needs. I think he'll probably end up getting around 30, 31, 32 maybe.
You think he's going to drop off an 18 goal pace? Like 18 goals off pace?
Yeah, I think so.
He scored 6 goals in 30 games last year. He had 6 and 10. If he just does 6 and 10 the whole way, like, he's fine.
He's got it, man. I think he's got it. Like,
yeah, but are the Caps going to hold up this pace until the postseason? That's the thing.
He has the assets. He has the team. Like, the team's doing unreal right now. Like, Dylan Strome's doing unreal. Connor McMahon, like, he has the pieces to do it. I think he's gonna do it. Like, I think feel it. I feel like he's gonna do it. That's
Daeden, I don't think you understand, dude. They're gonna be like, all of a sudden, bottom of the Metro, they're going to be down 6-0 in a game on the power play, and there's Ovi.
Yeah.
Just standing in a circle. Just give me one this game, boys.
Yeah, I know.
Not even playing defense anymore.
But then there's also going to be games where they play guys, they go to the Atlantic and they play the Atlantic teams, and they're going to be getting blown out. Ovi might not score there, maybe come back for a game or two against a shitty Metro opponent, maybe score a goal. I don't know.
Ovi always scores versus Tampa and Florida. Always
and
scores
Montreal.
versus both of them. And so there's 3 out of the 7 Atlanta, and I'm sure he rifles Boston or Buffalo. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I'm just not. Yeah.
All right, ladies.
For me. That's a hot take.
You cannot believe it, but it's happening.
Hey, yeah, you're the one with the hot takes tonight, Day. Look at me go, boys. I'm sitting pretty over here. But no, let me play devil's advocate here, all right? Yes, the Caps have started 8-2 this season, which is a great start for them, right? Big additions in the offseason. However, I feel like Ovi being Ovi, he's going to have a tremendous season again, but he's going to want to play that one more year, right? So I think he's going to wait until next year to really just cap it off. He might get close this year, but the pace that he's going on now is a 90-point year, which is great. But I feel like he's just going to almost hit the threshold, but just wait until next year to cap it off. Because once he does get close, goddamn well that arenas across the nation and all of North America are going to be jacking up their prices to see if Ovi can score that record-breaking goal in their own barn.
They're going to sell out. Like, literally, any arena that he's at, when it's close, it's going to sell out because people are going to want to see that live. And if you see that live, oh my God, like, you're never going to forget it. And I still think, like, let's say if Ovi has 2 more years under him, whenever he retires, fresh stick.
He's in the pocket. Passing the puck.
That's Ovi.
Yeah, but if he has 2 more years under his belt, he might be the only one to hit the 900 club of goals. I think he can do it.
But here's true.
I think he'll get 9. Yeah.
Austin Matthews, the way he's playing now too, like he could even fucking pass Ovi one day too at the pace he's going.
No, I don't
right? Like we might even see another historic race.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Matthews could be the first 1,000 goal scorer. I don't even like Austin Matthews, and he could be. It's crazy. Yeah, it's your fault. You live.
We'll see this again, boys. We'll see this kind of race again because the game is evolving.
Yeah, the game really is evolving. Like all the
it is
30 years maybe.
No, Celebrini doesn't have that. It's like Celebrini and Bedard. They're Crosby and McDavid. Like they're gonna get lots of points, but they're not gonna be like a dead goal scorer. It's been Ovi.
Oh right, Stammer, so we have to wait for Ivan Demidov to come.
I don't know. I still think he's more complimentary too.
I smell a little biasy over there.
Hey man, maybe Ovi might reach out to his Russian buddies and say, Vazzy, let me score. And he just like, oh, here, no problem. I see you in the slot over there on the power play. Whoops.
No. Dude, Vazzy's such a jerk, man. He'd be like, I love him, but he wasn't getting one on me. Even though he does every time. He scores like every game. Well, let's jump ahead here to pretty much our final topic, which Daeden, you made your Four Nations Cup teams for all four nations, and we're
I
gonna
sure
break
did.
them down. We're gonna absolutely ridicule your decisions
Yep.
and
Okay.
blast you and tell you what's right and what's wrong and what we think.
Can we save
Um,
Canada for last?
yeah,
Because
yeah. I
I
was
feel
gonna
like
start Finland. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So let's go. Finland. Uh, you have Hintz, Aho, Rantanen, Teravainen, Barkov, Lehkonen, Tolvanen, Halla, Lundell, Luosterainen, Kotkaniemi, and Armia on forward. Anyone have any notes on that? I think that's they don't have many players to choose from. I
I,
would
I
I would say you
once I got
probably
down
put
to the third
Barkov
and fourth
line one.
line, I was trying to search for players. I was like, who else can I put on this roster?
Yeah, the forwards are pretty good. I mean, the only change I say Barkov's going to get the captain. You probably have him line one. That's
Yeah,
probably
more
the
than
only
likely, yeah.
change.
Yeah.
That's my only change. And then on defense, you have Heiskanen and Lindell, Jokiharju, Mikola, Ristolainen, and Valimaki. And again, other than I think Valimaki could be bumped for someone maybe, but he's definitely making the team as like 7th. They just don't really have
Yeah.
enough.
Maybe Hakanpää.
Yeah, Yanni. If they want
I
another
could
big
see
body, that'd be a big deep pair. Ristolainen and Hakanpää.
Friggin'
Yeah,
right.
that would be.
Get a little juice. And then I mean their their goaltending may be their strongest position. Saros, Ranta, and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. It's the best.
Sudbury legend.
Best way to say his name. So I mean their goaltending is strong, but I mean, is the door open for Finland's goaltending with Saros' play this year?
No, 100% not.
No,
Okay,
I
well,
think
fair
he's
enough.
got it locked.
The best.
Do you
Yeah.
think if he starts like the first game bad, that second game they reconsider it?
No, they'll just play Ranta.
That's what I mean. No, do you think they'll reconsider Saros as a starter?
Not really. I really do think it's Saros or bust for them.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. All right, let's go.
They don't
to
have
their...
like any Tuukka Rask anymore or anything, so he is their Tuukka Rask now.
Yeah, that's true. Do you want to read your team Sweden?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
go
sure.
for it. Yeah.
All right, so line one, we got Willie Nee, Elias Pettersson, and Mika Zibanejad. Line two, we got Philip Forsberg, Gabe Landeskog, Jesper Bratt. Line three, we got overpaid Lucas Raymond, Elias Lindholm, and Adrian Kempe. And then on the fourth line, we have Alex Venberg, Joel Eriksson Ek, and Leo Carlson.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think it's solid.
I mean,
I think. Go ahead, Dally.
No, go. Yeah, say it, Dally. Yeah, say it.
I was just gonna say, is that like your projected starting lineup?
No. These are. I don't know if the lines are.
Just your
Because
roster.
I would honestly say I would put Forsberg on the top line and bump Elias Pettersson to the second, just the way how things are shaken up for either players. Like Philip Forsberg is having a great start, and Elias Pettersson is just still trying to find his game. So
Forsberg's a winger, isn't he? I think.
Yeah. But
that's why I have him on the wing.
If we want to talk about their center that's having the best start to the season of Sweden, it's Joel Eriksson Ek. He's having a fantastic start in Minnesota. Yeah. He's having he could very well center, and even Zibanejad plays center because honestly, I think Gabe Landeskog, if he's not going to be
if he comes back
for the Avs, I don't think there's any even if he comes back, there's no chance he risks not playing the season by accidentally getting hurt in this tournament. I just think there's no chance he risks it. He's been out for 2 years. There's no way that he just accidentally gets hurt in this tournament and then can't play for the Avs. I think as a captain, he has to sacrifice the team Sweden for the Avs.
100%.
But yeah, I think maybe he goes Zibanejad 1, Eriksson Ek 2, Lindholm's a perfect third line center. And then I know Wenberg can play some center, and then your fourth line.
What if you stick a guy like Ricard Raquel on that roster somewhere?
He's had a good start.
Yeah, not bad. Why don't we move to Team USA?
What do you want to do? Your D?
Oh shoot! Yeah. Sorry, got carried away. So we got Dahlin and Hedman, obviously, pair one.
Yeah.
Erik Karlsson and Hampus Lindholm, pair two. And then Rasmus Andersson and Matthias Ekholm, line three. And then goalies, Allmark, Markstrom, and Forsberg.
Good all the way around. I think,
I agree.
You name the best 6D, obviously, but I know this is going to happen, and don't be mad at me, but it's just because they're best friends and they're veterans. That first line D is going to be Hedman on the left, Karlsson on the right. That's just the way it's going to be. And then I can definitely see Dahlin with Rasmus Andersson, and then Lindholm and Ekholm as the third pair. I mean, any way you spin it, that's good. But I think that Hedman Karlsson pair would actually be like a detriment.
Yeah, that would be sick because you go stay at home, Hedman, move the puck, Karlsson, move your feet, and then, like you said, the young guys, Anderson and Dahlin, would go well together too.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think they'd either be a detriment or they'd be deadly. There's no in between for Hedman and Karlsson because they're aging. Karlsson's been atrocious. So, like, if he keeps going as bad as he's going, he might play himself off this team. Like, there's not many D from Sweden in the league, but he is playing so bad this year.
Yeah.
Do you know who's a great D-man for Team Sweden is, I think, should be definitely considered is Jonas Forsling of the Florida Panthers.
Gustav Forsling.
Yeah, for sure.
Gustav.
Oh, yeah. I also don't know why I don't know why I don't have Gustav Forsling on that list. That's crazy to me, actually.
Is he? He is having a great start to the year.
I also made these lists
he's
last
underrated.
year before the playoff run, so before Forsling even started to go off last year.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I definitely think that he should be in there, like an honorable mention, or at least the bench spot.
He'd be on my friggin' second line.
Second pairing, there you go.
It would be Forsling and Dahlin, probably.
Let's knock Matthias Ekholm off there.
That's all right.
No, I don't think I'm not. Dude, if I'm taking one of these 6 Swedish D off, I'm taking Karlsson off.
Really?
What does he bring?
Erik Karlsson? What does Rasmus Andersson bring?
Rasmus Andersson has been one of the best defensemen this season. Period. Not just for the Flames. Period.
All right.
He's been top 10. Right now he's in the top 10 Norris voting. Right now.
Fair.
Early season. So it would be definitely Karlsson or Ekholm, but Ekholm is steady Eddie. Karlsson is a wild card. Sometimes he brings his best, and sometimes you're like, why did we dress that guy?
I don't know. I think I might like Erik Karlsson. I think I like his game a bit too much, but we'll see.
I used to like his game. Now he's just trash can.
Old.
He's not like he used to be.
No effort. I have a bone to pick.
Do USA, right?
You do your. No, you do it. But
you do it.
Oh.
Actually, I'll do it, and then you rip apart my Canada.
Sure.
So first line, we have Jason Robertson, Austin Matthews, Jack Eichel. Second line, we have Clayton Keller, Jack Hughes, and Tage Thompson. Third line, we have the Michigan line. This is important to note. Michigan, Alexander DeBrincat, Dylan Larkin, and Kyle Connor, all from Michigan. Ryley doesn't like that DeBrincat pick, I guess. And then the fourth line of Matthew Tkachuk, JT Miller, and Brady Tkachuk. How gritty is that fourth line?
Your line that is going to lead your team is your fourth line. That's the best line on their team. Tkachuk, Miller, and Tkachuk. That's the best line. Now, no, what I was actually grimacing at was your second line. Clayton Keller, Jack Hughes, and Tage Thompson spells -75 in a 4-game tournament. There is no defensive capabilities at any of those guys. I don't mind them as a line. I just wouldn't say, if you put that line out against Canada's second line, which is Crosby, McKinnon, and Marchand, let's say, they're going to
Nova Scotia line.
They're going to get decimated. There's just no way. I like Robertson, Matthews, Eichel. That's great. I like DeBrincat, Larkin, Connor. I like the Michigan connection. That's cool. I do love the Tkachuk, Miller line. They're just not the fourth line. They're going to play like a fourth line, but they're going to play the minutes.
Maybe a second line. Maybe a second line. Move the second line to the fourth.
They could end up being the first line by the end of the tournament.
I don't know, man.
All
right.
Dude.
Let's move on to the defense.
Yeah, let's do it.
totally fucking ripped apart, but
Okay, Quinn Hughes, Charlie McAvoy, first pair defense. Zach Wierenski, Brock Faber, second pair defense. And Jake Slavin and Adam Fox on the third pair.
ooh, Adam Fox on the third pairing. Ooh,
That is.
Well, when you have Faber and McAvoy ahead of him, yeah, I think so. Adam Fox is a recent Norris Trophy winner, but I think Brock Faber showed a lot of potential last season. If you put him against, like, beside a guy like Zach Wierenski who can move the puck, move his feet, get up the ice quick, and Brock Faber's kind of like a more stay-at-home, stable, sturdy defenseman, I think it would work well.
I like Fox and Hughes, and then I like Faber and Slavin. I don't even know. McAvoy's better than Faber, so probably Faber, Wierenski third, McAvoy, Slavin, Fox, Hughes. That's what I like.
Fair.
Fox Hughes is number one for sure.
What about the strongest goalie tandem, not even tandem, but like trio in the tournament? And I have Hellebuck, Demko, and Swayman, but you could have Hellebuck, Demko, Ottinger. Like, you could mix those guys around, and anybody's good enough.
Yep,
I think so.
The
absolutely.
USA's got great goaltending, absolutely great goaltending.
The USA could ice 6 goaltenders better than Canada's best goaltender.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
and dude,
It's
in the
bad.
Canada's goalie situation is just terrible. Like, it's just so hit and miss right now. But I want to hear your thoughts on, or who you got for Team Canada's goalies day. I want to see who you got here.
All right, well, let's let Ryley rip it apart here. This was also keep in mind from last year, about this time last year, and I built a team like I said in that message. I said, like, first line offensive line, second line kind of a defensive offensive line, third line energy line, fourth line defensive line, shutdown line.
Okay,
But rip it apart.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I like your Canada team way more than I like the way you made your US team.
Okay.
Yeah. So I actually even heard me and Dally. What did we hear this?
Every single person on TikTok did not.
Oh well, they don't know what they're talking about anyways. Neither do we.
They said, "Where's Marner?"
He's not here for a reason. We just said he's not even worth his contract. Either way, me and Dally just heard your first line the other day of Hyman, McDavid, Point potentially. Someone was talking about that. I think we were listening to a podcast or something, weren't we, Dally? And they mentioned Point, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was missing Curfew we were listening to there.
Yeah, and they said it. And then you do have / Bedard, Point or Bedard. Personally, knowing Bedard playing for Team Canada in the past, I would love to slot him on this team. I just think he has the jam that it takes when you get the Maple Leaf on. You don't find many guys like Crosby in 2010, right? Like, that's what Bedard brings, is the Crosby 2010 type of impact.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, though. He was at a junior level where, like, he could show out with not a lot of other guys showing out at the center position. Now you got, like, guys in the NHL. Like, Ryan O'Reilly could slot in there on the fourth line perfectly at center. Like, Braden Point, even Stammer, Riley. Like, bring these boys on that deserve that spot.
If you look at all the other teams, Bedard easily makes Finland, Bedard easily makes Sweden, and Bedard most likely makes USA over someone, right? Like, that's what I'm looking at. I think that he needs to be started, but I love your second line. I'm not going to make Dallas upset and say the Nova Scotia line shouldn't be together and that they're trash. And
actually, it's the Cole Harbor line, bud. Get it right.
Okay,
no. Brad's not from Cole Harbor. Brad's from Hammond's Plains. It's about
buddy.
Half hours.
Same vicinity. We'll call it even at same vicinity.
So the Nova
They're just all buddies. They're all buddies. They know each other from way back. So,
honestly, I might I like Braden Point on this team, right where you have him, but I might even put Reinhart line 1.
Yeah, that was also way before Reinhart went off last year. Like, I feel like an idiot having him on my fourth line now.
That's cool. Well, you have third line. You have Reinhart, Barzell, Stone, and you have Stone starred because probably of injury.
Yeah.
Shifley, Deneau, Byfield. Can I tell you that I love that you put Byfield on here? Like, I think that's a
okay. Can I say this? I put Byfield on here because I put Deneau on here, and I think Deneau is the best shutdown NHL centerman as of right now. Not two-way, but shutdown.
Yeah. Now
two-way and shutdown, totally different.
Here's the thing, though.
And he plays alongside Byfield.
Tie game or up by 1, right? 2 minutes left. You need a face-off in the defensive zone taken. Who's taking it?
Phil Deneau.
Sidney Crosby. So now Phil Deneau is not needed.
Useless. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Shit.
So I think that Phil Deneau is a great player, but that's where you'd put Bedard. You'd like Bedard, Byfield, and another young guy maybe even. Or, I want Stamkos to be on the team. Will he make it? I don't know. He's having such a bad year. I don't know if he will, but maybe give, Canada needs a young line to come up and play, Bedard, Byfield, and laugh. Why not laugh in the air?
Hear me out. You want a centerman to center that fourth line? What about Nick Suzuki?
I like Suzuki.
Matty Barzal even.
But Barzal's on that third line. And I don't think he fits a fourth line role like he fits a third line role.
Yeah.
Barzal's more of like a fast two-way energy kind of guy. I don't know if he's really more of your play in the defensive zone, shut down a first or second line type of guy.
To me, I just cut Barzal. I like Barzal. He just doesn't have in the playoffs. He goes in important games. He sometimes isn't there. And Stone can play center too. So really, your 4 centers could be McDavid, Crosby, Stone, Bedard. There's nothing wrong with those centers, right? And then I like that you have Kai. I would replace Kyrou with Stamkos, even if he's just on the bench. And then I would probably. I don't even want Marner here. I'm going Ryan O'Reilly for Marner.
See, and here's my problem too: is you want to talk about a good centerman that could play both ends of the ice, all 200 feet. Why am I not hearing a name as in Mark Scheifele ever come up on a lot of guys' lists? He's having a great start to the year too on a very red hot Jets team. I feel like it would be a disservice not to let him play for Team Canada for once. This would
Daeden does have him on fourth line left wing, if I didn't read it correctly, which is nice because
but he is a notable centerman. So yeah.
Well, he doesn't win enough faceoffs. He's got to be a winger for sure. Or maybe Bedard can play wing. I don't know, but I just think if Bedard's the next Crosby type player and McDavid type player, you don't leave that guy off your roster. Even if he's in the extras, you don't leave him off. That's my thought.
Yeah, he'll be the 13th forward.
Yeah. Defense: Taze McCarr, Morrissey, Dobson, Theodore, Pietrangelo, and then you have Burns and Dunn as extras. And yeah, I don't think Canada can do any better than that. Unfortunately,
not really.
Yeah,
that's their pool. Maybe a Doughty.
I was thinking of that. But
maybe
then,
not Dunn. Doughty instead of Dunn, and then you kind of give the old guard of Pietrangelo, Burns, and Doughty one last go.
What I was thinking of, the right side, Theodore and Pietrangelo on that last pair, have Pietrangelo there because apparently he's like a dick to play against, and have him where he's playing with Theodore. He plays with him in Vegas, so it'd be already a good pair. And then Dobson on your right side and McCarr on your right side. So I don't know. I thought my right side was kind of already filled.
Yeah.
But yeah,
for
Burns,
sure.
I like him too. But Burns or Doughty could either be, because Burns is also slowing down.
Yeah, true. Letang too. There's always the old guard. Yeah. Oh yeah, Ekblad too. He's been playing
from Florida.
Yeah. Jeez. He's not over Dobson or Morrissey, but he might be over Pietrangelo. Ekblad,
he might
could be.
Possibly. I think it's possible.
Geez, there's defense. We have depth, but we don't have the depth of the U.S. That's for sure.
No.
Then your goalies: Hill, Montembeault, Skinner, and I'm happy with that.
Take Skinner out for Binnington now.
There you go. I'm happy with that list too, Dave. That's a respectable.
Who you cutting, Ryley?
No, I'm not. I'm not cutting anyone.
Oh,
I don't want Binnington anywhere near this roster.
Okay, yeah, I also don't really like that, but he's been playing good.
He has been, but when things get emotional, he is a complete liability. And what is more emotional than playing for your country versus USA when the Tkachuk brothers are both crushing you at the same time? He's going to be a loose cannon.
Just play Montembeault.
Yeah, but if you commit to Binnington, it's the same thing as committing to Saros or Hellebuck or Allmark. Like, do they ride or die with him? I play Adin Hill. Adin Hill shows he's completely unshakable. He's just a good goaltender. He just sits there and stops pucks. It's simple hockey. So I take Adin Hill. You can replace Skinner with the way he's playing. You're right. Like, he's playing terrible.
His goals against average is pretty fucking noteworthy.
Yeah, it's not good. But it's not good.
You know, if you put Binnington on this team, fair enough, but don't give him the net. We've seen it. He tried to fight already this year once. Like, yes, is it fun? Like, I don't mind a goalie fight. I love a goalie fight, and it's a lot of fun. But when it's always him who's the guy who's over emotional, it's a track record. It's Ray Emery, right? Like, Ray Emery would snap, and it would be a negative effect. Like, same thing with Jordan Binnington. He starts taking penalties. He gets off his game. Then he lets in an easy one. And he smashes a stick over the crossbar. Like, he just unravels, and you can watch it happen just because he's mad that someone's in his crease and he loses it. And he blocker punches someone in the head. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, he just unravels.
He's a loose cannon.
Exactly. So I just don't want Binnington to play. He might, but I don't want him to. Well, gentlemen, I think that's pretty much everything for episode 43 of the Gamedaytarps podcast. Like Dallas said at the beginning, please subscribe on YouTube, like the video, follow us on all social medias at Gamedaytarps, follow Daeden at Blue Nose Hockey, and Wilbs at Wilbs Puck or Wilbs Film. And we'll see you guys in episode 44. Thanks again for watching.